If you look around this room, you'll see one of the greatest miracles of Jewish survival. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Many of you or your parents or your grandparents, come from a certain part of the world, which you know very, very well about. And a few summers ago, 2 summers ago, I went to visit the former Soviet Union, which of course included all of the 11 branches of the former USSR. And I experienced this incredible feeling. The incredible feeling was exactly this. It's Hanukkah, and there's a menorah in the Kremlin. And there's 2,000-3,000 people observing the kindling of the menorah by the rabbi, singing Mos Sur Yeshuati, lighting the menorah, a few yards away from the mausoleum where they lay the 2 corpses of Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin. And I'm thinking to myself how they must be turning over, I'm not going to say in their graves, but how they must be turning over in the Kremlin. Lag BaOmer, 5,000 Jewish kids marching in the Kremlin, screaming Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, in the center of the regime, which made its focus for 70 years to obliterate every last vestige of God, every last vestige of Judaism, every last vestige of Torah. There was a communist teacher who turned to her class and she said to them, "Do you see the building outdoors?" They said, "Yeah." "Do you see your nose?" "Yeah." "Why?" "Because it exists." "Do you see the classroom?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because it exists." "Do you see my eyes?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because they exist." "Do you see the door?" "Yes." "Because it exists." "Do you see the floor?" "Yes." "Because it exists." "Do you see God?" "No." She says, "You know why? It doesn't exist." Silence in the room. A Jewish kid gets up and says, "Friends, comrades, do you see our teacher's nose?" "Yes." "Because it exists." "Do you see her forehead?" "Yes." "Because it exists." "Do you see her cheeks?" "Yes." "Do you see her brains?" "No." "You know why? Because they don't exist." The other day, there was a Russian history teacher in a Chabad school in Ukraine. Okay, listen to this. And she was a commie. And she says to the students, "What's the most important event of 1799? So one of the boys, Chabad kid, he raises his hand and says, 1799 is the year when Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi was liberated from prison. Teacher went crazy, ballistic. Said, "Really? That's ridiculous. 1799 is the year when Alexander Pushkin was born." Pushkin was born, the greatest poet in Russian history, died from a duel at the age of 36. Boy looked at her and said, "Pushkin." So I'm Pushkin. 1800, 1805, 1810. She turns to the class, "What's the most important event in Russian history?" 1812. The boy says, "Pushkin's bar mitzvah." When you think about what happened in that country, Stalin in the 30 years from 1924 when Lenin died till 1953, March, Purim, when he died. Close to 50 million people were killed. Judaism was uprooted. And every normal Jew felt it's the end. And 7 decades later, you go back to that place and you see hundreds of shuls, camps, programs, Jewish events, and then you come here tonight and you see that people who left that country, left Uzbekistan or other cup regions of the USSR and came here, and Yiddishkeit is living and breathing and vibrant. I ask you, my dear friends, if this is not a miracle, what is a miracle?
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.